Go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. Let's have the roll call.
Kessler. Walters.
Here.
Burden.
Here.
Ewert.
Here.
Benner.
Here.
Parton. Crum.
Here.
Thompson.
Here. And tonight's invocation was given by Pastor Rusty Westerfield of First Christian Church. I think we got it right this time.
Okay, you're doing better. Father, thank you. We are fastly approaching the month of November where we just give thanks for so many blessings. God, I pray for our nation. I just thank you for our country. I'm proud to be an American, and God, I just am proud to stand here because it's cities like this city, Lord, that make America great, and I thank you for that. I pray for these councilmen and women today, Lord, as they discuss the future of this city and, Lord, the plans, the vision that they have. I pray for wisdom, and God, I pray for integrity, and God, I pray for just your power and your blessing on them. And I pray it all in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll go to the presentation and approval of minutes, minutes of October 15, 2019. Anyone? Ms. Gordon?
I make a motion we approve the minutes of October 15th, 2019.
Second. Vote second, approve the minutes. Discussion? Question?
Walters.
Yes.
Burden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Abstain.
Benner.
Abstain.
Crum.
You weren't here.
No, but if I abstain, are we going to be able to pass them?
1, 2, 3. You're
So it'd be 3-3 and you could break the tie? Abstain?
Thompson.
Yes.
Yes.
Stand.
You threw me off when you abstained because I wasn't here, so I didn't know you weren't.
No intention there.
No minutes, let's go home. Item 1, citizens be heard, Sedgwick County Fire Department. They're not here. We'll see if they can show up. Item 2, approval license bonds. We have none. Item 3, introduction of ordinance and resolutions. We have none. Item 4, notice of communication. We do have some of those. A, government body announcements. Mr. Crum?
I just want to mention going on at the library for the month of November. First off, the Living History Rendezvous is going to be going on in Riggs Park coming over this weekend. I think that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday perhaps. And so that's put on by the library. And then there's early voting going on there on the 2nd from 9 to 4. Also early voting on the 1st from 12 to 7. And then voting, there's also a voting location on the 5th from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Horticulture Club is meeting on November 5th. Genealogy group meeting November 9th. And on the 11th is a book discussion on Turn of the Screw. And then click the right thing here. I wanted to, volleyball got over with at campus. Volleyball got over with this past weekend. I want to tell them good job, and I believe the football team is traveling to Dodge City this coming Friday for their first round playoff game. The soccer team is headed to Manhattan tomorrow for their game. I believe the volleyball team finished up this weekend at Sub-State. They did get one win at Sub-State, but that's all the farther they got to go. But we'll congratulate them on a good season. That's kind of what's going on in school. And then I also wanted to mention Haysville Healthy Habits. They're looking for more people to join and come out, and I just kind of wanted to let people know what they've been doing recently and what they have coming up. At Fall Fest, they were the group that had the human foosball table set up, which was a lot of fun. It was pretty active over there. They also worked the one-stop resource shop through the school district this past week. They were at this Spooktacular at the Hack yesterday. They're doing trick or treat on Main Street. coming up on Halloween. And both of those events, they were doing the teal pumpkin thing, which is to recognize people with food allergies. So the treats they're giving out aren't food items. I think they're like lighted bracelets and stuff like that. But they make sure that they do that. And they are also provide bananas and water for the Gobble Wobble that's upcoming. So they're a very active group. If you'd be interested, they do have a Facebook page, a Twitter page. You could get a hold of me. I know the president pretty well. Or you can also call the USD 261 Learning Center. That's kind of the office they work out of, and they can get information there. But that's what's kind of going on there.
Very good, thank you. Anything else? Seeing none, I have got the Senior Center. Tuesday, October 29, WSU Well Rep class, 10:30. Wednesday, October 30th, Halloween Bingo, 12:30. Thursday, October 31st, they're going to close at 4 because they're going to be doing trick or treat on Main Street. Friday, November 1st, it's the Haysville West Middle School Junior Honor Society visit at 9. They're going to make crafts for Thanksgiving boxes for homebound. And then Tuesday, November 5th, they have Foot Care Day. So if you're interested, contact the Senior Center. Okay, we're going to move on then to the memo on the new business to council, which is Kiwi July online store and D&T Manufacturing on 311 North King.
What kind of a business is B&T? Do you know?
That's what I was gonna say, because when I
Anybody know?
when I Googled them, it said that name was tied to some kind of a machine shop in Udall that made like parts for motorcycles and stuff, and I didn't know if they were moving here or if it's another group, but that's what I found when I Googled it. But I don't know if that's them or not.
Yeah.
We can find out. Let everybody know. Zach would know, and he's not here tonight. Okay, we're gonna move on then to old business. We have none. Item 6, other business. A consideration and request for services and consent to annexation agreement. We have an individual wanting to be annexed into the city. As you can see from your map, somewhere in here, this property over on Broadway. We already have the property furthest to the south of these 3 properties in the city. This one is the furthest to the north of these 3. They want to be part of our city. Mr. Walters?
I make a motion we approve a request for services and consent to annex as listed.
Second.
Motion second to approve the consent annex as presented. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Barden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item B, consideration request to purchase an excavator. This replaces the one that fell in the...
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have received bids to purchase a used excavator. Our past excavator was damaged working around the lake in Dorner Park. Our insurance policy did reimburse us the value of the excavator at $46,500. I've listed three bids on 3 different pieces of equipment. The 99 John Deere equipment would require extensive work and is very high in hours. The 2011 John Deere has some minor issues along with not having a thumb on the bucket. The 2003 Komatsu has low hours and includes a thumb on the bucket. I'm asking authorization to purchase an excavator not to exceed $91,500, and it's also contingent upon passing inspection by our staff. Funds required over the insurance reimbursement will be paid out of equipment reserve. And stand for any questions you may have.
Mr. Crum?
Tony, I gotta admit, a couple of things I had a question on this is, in 3 years, I think it's gonna be 20 years old. And I don't know what kind of warranties any of these things would go, but I gotta believe a lot of times when you start running into equipment that's old, not only does it become hard to repair, it becomes hard to find things to repair them. I don't know how much this thumb would cost, or the other one that's a 2011, which is actually $9,000 less, is a lot younger, and I would think it would be easier to maintain. I understand the hours thing, but I'm just curious how, I mean, are we gonna have trouble finding replacement parts if we have to start working on this thing, just because the 8 years is a big difference?
Right, I mean, one thing, the valuable thing that we have as an asset of our city is our mechanic. Has a career in heavy mechanic with heavy equipment. He can fix, I shouldn't say this about anything and everything. He's looked at the equipment on paper. He's not inspected the Komatsu quite yet. It's on its way to town from Topeka for inspection. But city staff recommends the 2003 due to the low hours and the kind of the job is used at a recycling center. So a lot of plastics and trash is what it handled, not like heavy construction projects.
Has he had a chance to look at the other two things?
No, they're not in the state as well.
Okay.
What's this thumb attachment really worth?
Glad you asked
So
that.
basically, it's like you have the bucket on the Traco. It's the thumb that actually puts it together, so it gives you two pieces to actually grab things. So a lot of times during storms or brush pile or anything like that, or even moving pipe, you can actually grab it.
Oh.
And the other one's bucket is cracked.
Correct.
Oh,
And a thumb itself could run you from $10,000 to $30,000.
On the 11, it's cracked?
Yes.
I thought that was on the 99.
Includes a cracked bucket on the 11
Yeah.
It was a crack. Okay.
and minor other attention.
Okay. It caught me off guard that one that was that much older that much younger was that much less, and so I just wanted to make sure.
And then one of the staff members that'll be inspecting his previous employment years and years ago, he traveled the country for a large construction firm in town, purchasing and inspecting equipment as well.
Okay.
Ms. Stewart?
yes, if there's no other questions, I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and accept the Gary Tractor 2003 for $91,500, not to exceed $91,500.
Should we make that pending the
Oh, pending the inspection. Sorry.
I'll second that.
Motion second to approve the 915 not to exceed inspection. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Rodden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Spinner?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Move on to C, which is consideration of a farm lease.
So before you deny it for your approval is the farm lease agreement with Robert Hay for the city property located on 95th Street between Seneca and Broadway, also known as the rodeo grounds area. No changes have been made from the previous agreements besides the dates, and I stand for any questions you may have.
Mr. Crum?
I make a motion we approve the farm lease as presented.
Second.
Motion second to approve the farm lease as presented. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Rodden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Spinner?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Crum, question?
Yeah, it kind of goes along with this land. I know we utilize land we have. The leases we have on land right now that a lot of use we have used has been with our solid waste removal, and we're going away from that. Are we gonna evaluate the farmland we have in town, whether or not it's something we need to sell, or we continue to lease? Are we gonna use it for something else? Have we thought about that yet?
Yeah, the 80 we have over on 79th truly is needed for additional water storage from coming up the other one. The 5 acres we're trying to sell now for sure that we have. The only other land we have then is 30 acres and then this lot over here now. So, and we'll want to sell that lot when it's done. So we are looking at selling.
So is it the 5 acres that's over kind of just to the
Some,
east
probably.
of the, okay, the one's kind of behind Public Works? Or are you
No,
looking at?
this is on the other Broadway and Industrial Park.
Oh, that one that's back in the corner?
That 5 acres right on Broadway.
Okay,
The other land that we own over at Public Works, we truly want to maintain all that.
okay,
So,
okay, I was just curious.
yeah, eventually the 80 acres would be something we might want to sell, but we need to make sure we have correct drainage for the rest of the development going west first.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Item 7, department reports. A, administrative services. Well,
Councilmember Crum already mentioned the Living History Rendezvous. Ginger printed off a schedule for me. The main times for the public to show up would be Saturday from 9 to 5. That's when the most events are for the public. It's also open to the public on Friday from 9 to 5. But on Friday, the Living History Rendezvous likes to focus on the students that come out from the schools. And most of the main events for the public are on Saturday. Sunday's basically a pack-up day. And then the trick or treat on Main Street, which was also mentioned, is on Halloween, of course, from 4:30 to 6:30 on Main Street.
Janie?
Okay, and I also want to just touch on early voting as well. October the 31st from noon to 7 p.m. at the library as well. And we do have a copy of the flyer on the city's website, or if anybody else has any questions, they can contact the Sedgwick County Election Office. Also, the city hall will be closed on November the 11th for Veterans Day. This council meeting will be moved to the 12th. And then also there will be a Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th at 11 a.m. in front of the PD court building, but will be moved inside in case the weather gets bad. So,
Okay. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our visiting officer this evening is Mr. Police Officer Mark Mullen. He's currently assigned to our afternoon shift, so he's there on duty right now. And he is one of our field training officers also, so say hi to him as you go by out there. Also just wanted to remind everybody with Halloween on Thursday, please slow down your neighborhoods. Just make sure you're going slow as you can. Make sure you're always watching for the kids and everything else that are out there. And also our event over here on Main Street, expect some traffic delays because we do get a good number of people over there. Hopefully the weather will be nice enough that we get a bunch out there, and just be mindful of that and watch for people stepping off curbs because they come off no matter where they are, maybe not in the sidewalk or a crosswalk, but just be careful of them. So, thank you.
Thank you. Public Works, right?
Meese construction will begin 7th Street water line beginning tomorrow. There are 30 days scheduled for substantial completion, and contractor has delivered notices to the residents affected. Our mill and overlay project, contractor has started milling roads this week. Due to the weather, they're planning just to mill the roads this week, then next week with the weather supposed to be in the 50s, pave them. Same thing with the recreational area down at Dorner Park. Also, the Public Works Department will be closed on November 11th for Veterans Day. And of course, for any water or wastewater emergencies, you can reach dispatch at 529-5912. Thank you.
Recreation, Jody?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This Saturday, as was mentioned, we will have our annual Gobble Waffle Race. This is a 5K. You can still register at the Activity Center or online through Friday, and then Saturday at the race, it starts at 9 a.m. That's all I have.
Item 8, appointments, we have none. Item 9, opportunity citizens to be heard. Anyone want to speak? See no one rushing up here, so we'll go on to item 10, executive session, we have none. Item 11, bills be paid. A, bills be paid for the last half of October. Ms. Seward?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we pay the last half of October bills.
Second.
Motion second, pay the last half of October bills. Discussion, question.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Hebert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 12, consent agenda, we have nothing. Item 13, council items. Council concerns? Any concerns? Mr. Crump?
First off, Chief, I stopped in there Friday and talked to one of the officers about speeders coming in on 71st Street, heading from west to east. And Mr. Martin's at Haysville West Middle School emailed me today and said you guys are putting the car out there. I appreciate that. It's something that he and the principal at Tri-City were pretty concerned about, was the speed some of the people are coming in the morning. And I asked them both if it was morning or evening and they saw the most problems, and they both said morning. So I appreciate that. And then I wanted to bring up something that I noticed at Fall Fest. We had somebody that did a great job Saturday singing the national anthem, and there's no flag anywhere. I didn't know if we could look at trying to get a flagpole by the stage, or it even occurred to me that you can get portable flagpoles now that you can, like, you park a car wheel on top of it and you do it. And if the city had that way, if you could use it if we had something going on in the park, if there was something going on at Dorner Park, there was going to be a big soccer tournament or something they wanted to do it, you could take it out there. I think it'd be a really good idea for us to, if a permanent one or one that we can move around over by the park for when we have events over there that start with the national anthem. I just think that would be something that would be nice to do. And I also I know we've got a pole over there for the Veterans Memorial, but there's not a flag on it. The next couple of weeks, I was actually going to reach out to the VFW to see if they'd be interested in providing a flag, and I was actually going to go talk to Principal Maurer at Haysville Middle School to see if he'd be interested in having like their junior honor society or something be responsible for making sure the flag was up, putting it up when it needs to be up, and do that kind of thing. But even if we had that in there, I still think it'd be a good idea to have a flag by the stage. And that's just something I noticed at Fall Fest. I mean, it may be something the band shelter might only get used 2 or 3 times a year, but I think that it might be something that we could look into that would not cost that much money probably, and we could even give us another spot to put up a Haysville flag as well.
VFW supplies them, I know, for the corner force, so they will supply them. So, and I think this have to let them know. So yeah, that'd be great. We can look into all those. Sure. Any other concerns, council? Seeing none, then we'll go on to item B, which is the council action request updates. South Meridian's been mowed.
So this is in reference to the tract of land on South Meridian on the west side. We had some conversations with the county, and it was decided we could provide a more visually appealing and more repetitive mowing. We mowed the property on 10/24. The case is considered closed. Thank you.
Item 14, adjournment.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. Discussion, question.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Hebert?
Yes.
Pinner?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.